Hi, this is Dave Zwang with What They Think. And with me is Daniel Velema, who is the Managing Director of Koenig Bauer Durst. And Daniel, it's great to see you.
Thanks so much. Good to see you as well.
So Daniel, Koenig Bauer Durst, great company, actually two amazing companies coming together into one joint venture. What do you see as the trends in the industry at this point?
Well, you know what? Everybody's always talking about the usual ones, right? They're talking about shorter run lengths, which, by the way, we can even see in our Rapida install base. They're talking about time to market, versioning, track and trace, the ability to do versioning and the like. I think all that holds true. Don't get me wrong. But I think that there's currently something very interesting going on. And that is that, for example, with the US election as well, but also elections upcoming in Europe, there's a lot more geopolitical instability. As such, for brands and retailers, the environment has just changed. I mean, it's no longer an easy equation where you are going to source your products, how you're going to build up your supply chain, and also what is going to be there in terms of legislation. I mean, if you look at the Trump administration, there are a lot of executive directives that are being thrown into the public. And as a brand or a retailer, you need to be able to respond to that pretty quickly. I think that geopolitical uncertainty, that societal uncertainty really triggers a need for being very nimble and able to change rapidly. And also, for example, if you look at things like the workforce, I mean, there's an ongoing debate, especially in the advanced economies, about immigration. That's all true and well, but for a printer converter, that actually comes down to a very basic question. Am I able to have people on my press, yes or no? So also there, you need to start thinking about how you can make yourself still attractive in a very competitive labor market. And then, for example, in Europe, just think about the packaging and packaging waste regulation that is coming up very soon, where all of a sudden you need to start thinking about redesigning almost every single product because it needs to be traceable. It needs to be fit for purpose because you are no longer allowed to ship a whole lot of air. It needs to be recyclable. So, do you really want to continue doing that with your existing printing technology? So, do you just decide to, you know what? This is a good moment to actually shift everything to digital. That when the bureaucrats, either in DC or in Brussels, come up with something new, I can change immediately. So I think we are just seeing a lot more complexity and dynamism in the world, which on the one hand is really good because it will give people opportunities to outcompete the rest. But you need also the printing technologies to support that. And I think that's for digital, actually, it's kind of a perfect storm.
Okay, so and it makes perfect sense, really does. So when it comes down to digital, I know you have a wonderful digital offering that I saw in Drupa, the VariJET 106. Uh, what was the reaction of the people who were at the show?
Well, it was good. I really enjoyed it. It was a great show. And it wasn't a great show because I had a good time. I think it was a good show because the customers really liked it. Because the VariJET was something that had been up in the air for a little while. And this is when it really landed. And people were like, okay, there is really something out there. Even competitors congratulated us with the product, which is a nice thing, by the way. But I think more importantly, we were able to show there also what we have been able to accomplish with one of our beta customers, which is shelling. So we showed products from shelling, and that just makes it so much more tangible. So that has really given us a good head start. And I think that Drupa in itself was a confirmation of what we're aiming for. And that is, first of all, there's a whole lot going on in packaging. And the VariJET is very much a folding carton packaging press. So we go square for that application. And secondly, it was very much a software Drupa as well. And I think that is where one of the strengths of one of the two mother companies, the Durst Group, really comes into play. I mean, we can really leverage all the workflow know-how that they have and then combine it, on the other hand, with the application know-how from Koenig and Bauer. So I think it was just a reconfirmation of, yes, we are on the right track. The interest is there. We're doing good stuff with the betas. So let's continue.
That's great. So okay, so you've got some betas. How many betas do you have? Where are they located at this point?
So we have two. One is located in Switzerland. That's a known one. That's Schelling,
Mhm.
who was also part of the show at Drupa. The other one is in Germany. We cannot disclose that one. And then there's a third press. It's no longer a beta press, but it is a very special one in the sense that it has a unique configuration whereby we combine flexo with digital printing and with free coating stations, so that you can do a lot of very nice inline embellishment work while keeping the productivity that you expect from a VariJET. And the nice thing about those free, and we did it on purpose, obviously, is that they just cover a very wide array of applications and printing needs. So Schelling, for example, in Switzerland, they don't only do the traditional folding carton, but they do quite a bit of recto versa printing, so front and backside printing as well. They do quite a bit of POS material. So they really are pushing the boundaries of what's possible with the press. And if you look at the one in Germany, they do, on the one hand, industrial applications, where one could argue the printing requirements may not be the very highest, but at the same time, they also push for high-end pharmaceuticals and beauty. So very, very nice mixed bag of products and applications that they go after.
It's a great machine. It's very flexible, and in today's environment, that's key. Because everything is moving more towards application-specific kinds of manufacturing. When can we expect to see it in the States?
We on purpose didn't go after the States immediately, because you first need to be able to walk before you can start running. And since we have most of our R&D resources and the like in Europe, we decided to focus on Europe first. But we're open for business, very, very much so right now for the States. I think it's a tremendous market for digital printing. And if you just reflect back on some of the trends that I outlined earlier in the conversation, think about nearshoring, think about a very unpredictable legislative environment, think about trade wars and the like. You really want to be able, as a brand and a retailer, to move quickly. And I think that is, again, where digital printing has a sweet spot, and especially our machine can contribute. So what is, just to come back to your question, what is now important for the US? I think, first of all, it's going over to Germany, where we have our demo facilities and people can just feed for themselves. Because in the end, I can do a nice story, but you want to touch the metal and you want to see the print for yourself. Step number one. And then step number two is we need to finalize a couple of lighthouse customers, get them up and running and get them successful. Because in the end, happy customers sell. So my message for the US is very much like, hey guys, the future is now. And you definitely do not want to have the situation where your neighbor may have a VariJET and you're losing out.
Wonderful. Daniel, I wish you all the best with it. I know it is a great machine. I saw it in Dusseldorf, and I've been watching it grow over the years and evolve during development. And I think that the U.S. market is probably ready. We just got to get off our seat and get over there and make the offer and take a look at it. Daniel, thanks again. Great seeing you. Great spending time with you.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.